What's going on, guys? Just give you an update on the court case. It's probably hard for a lot of people to understand what's going on with my court case, whoever's following it, of course. The media come out and said Ericsson's bringing up a 1600-old law. Henry VIII, his argument's retarded because it's from so long ago. The journalists are ignorant. They don't understand what's going on. The magistrate doesn't want to touch it because this is a magistrate's court, you've got to understand. The point is, it's pretty simple. So this charge, disturbing religious worship, first appeared in Australia at Federation around 1901. We brought over a bunch of laws from England. This charge has not been tested, rarely. I think it was tested once, majorly, in a Supreme Court of Victoria in the 1960s. The problem is, with charges such as assault or theft, these laws have been tested. They've been taken to the High Court. It's been defined. They've got cited cases of what the definition of what theft is, what it constitutes theft. For instance, Andy Nolcher's case with the graffiti. The reason he got damage to property, or that serious charge, is because anything in the cited cases, anything that you can't use a wet cloth to remove, is considered a heavy damage to property, etc. So the problem is with this case is this is so old and rarely used, okay, that it hasn't been tested. And the only time I can find where it was tested, the judge in the case in the Supreme Court threw the case out because he would not define what religious worship is. If you were to charge someone with assault, you have to define what assault is. What is assault? Is assault looking at someone, or is assault punching someone? You need to define it legally. It's not what you think, it's what you need to define legally. The problem with this case is it's in the magistrate's court, and the magistrate doesn't want to work hard. They don't want to delve into this charge. Disturbing religious worship was created from two acts called the Toleration Act of 1650, I think it was, 1658 or 1608, correct me if I'm wrong, and the Places of Worship Act. If you look in both of them acts, it states quite clearly, and it's legitimately the same law. It says disturbing a group of persons meeting for religious worship, etc. And it says that those who are permitted to lawfully officiate and lawfully assemble. There was a criteria. This is not a law about freedom of religion. This law is actually quite the opposite. The law was brought about because they wanted to make Catholicism illegal, and they wanted to make only certain religions were allowed protection under this law if they met a certain criteria. What was that criteria? They have to swear an oath to the crown. During their services, they have to pray for the crown. Okay? Now, it might sound weird swearing an oath to the crown, but we're still under the crown. Every minister in Australia has to swear an oath to the crown. Every police officer has to swear an oath to the crown. This is the point of this charge. The church in this case, the Metropolitan Community Church, might as well have been a football team because they're not a legal denomination by proclamation of the Governor-General. They're not lawfully recognised as a denomination in Australia. The alleged pastor in this case, I won't mention her name, she is not lawfully recognised as a religious minister in Australia. She's recognised as a civil celebrant, but not a religious minister. To be a religious minister, you have to be ordained by a denomination that has legal right to marry and legal right to worship. So this case is a lot more complicated than one thinks. So when the media come out and say, oh, Ericsson's using an old Henry VIII law, well, this is where the charge originated. This was the charge's true intention. See, this is what law is. But obviously they want to, stick it to Ericsson, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm probably going to be found guilty, but I'm going to be requesting that the magistrate define to me what is divine worship. What is it? A football club, a lot of people think football is a religion and they worship the football or the football ground. They might as well be in this case because there is no definition. What is the definition? They're not lawfully recognised as a religion. They're not lawfully recognised to solemnise weddings. It's insane. Like, you can't have a law like this. If you can't define what the law is, how can you convict? Insane. All right, guys, today's the second day. I'll probably be convicted tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. Love yous all.